Hello beautiful people. In this video we're going to be talking about the brand new VANS Lizzie Armanto signature shoe I recently purchased and I'm super hyped on it. This video we're not going to be doing so much of a review. It's going to be more so just an unboxing, first skate session, and then some initial thoughts on these shoes, and then maybe I'll do a more in-depth review in the future. I actually recorded all the audio for this at my house and then it all got messed up, so now I'm re-recording, so some of the b-roll and the unboxing clips don't match up. That is why. So I have had a session on these. I do have some first impressions and some thoughts. Let's dive into some of the shoe details before I put my impression and my thoughts on this shoe. The campaign for the shoe is called Something Else Entirely. It's a unique solution to the universal problems of skate shoes, a better fitting, more durable, sustainable conscious solution for all skateboarders. So a couple of things while we're unboxing the shoe that I was thinking about is this idea of a universal skate shoe for everyone, or trying to make a product for everyone in general. It doesn't even have to be a skate shoe, it could be anything. And I think a lot of times when companies do this and they try to make something for everyone that's universal, they kind of miss the mark entirely and they really make a product for no one because they're trying to facilitate to everyone. So I think like the universal fit and all of that stuff is, I don't know, to me it feels a little bit of a marketing term that's not really going to work for them, because it's not really telling anybody who it is for. It's just saying that we are for everyone. So just kind of some initial thoughts that I was thinking about before actually even skating these shoes when they were in the mail, and now that I'm unboxing them and I have skated them, I can definitely say they're not like some crazy unique universal fit, but we're gonna dive more into my thoughts towards the end of the video after the skate session. A better fitting shoe does sound pretty subjective. However, I have had problems finding the right fit with my last resort shoes. I typically wear a size 10, but my low top last resorts were size 10 and they felt really big. And then my last resort mid tops were size 9.5 and they felt way too small. So it is something that I'm trying to figure out. As for durability, I found that the VANS Rowans were extremely durable shoe, but my last resorts did stay fresh and kept their shape longer than any of my previous Vans. So I'm interested to see how these shoes really do hold up over time, and I will be doing more of a follow-up review, so make sure you're subscribed to see that video. So this shoe does have a DuraCap on the toe, which I love, and it's not a super rubber toe, still has a fabric over it, but it has that protection underneath, which I think is really nice. And apparently comes in with a broken in fill, thanks to an entirely new fit and updated sole. I was a big fan of this idea of broken in shoes until I started paying more for shoes. Previously, I was a team manager for a shoe company. Now, when I buy shoes, I honestly don't want them to be already broken in. I want to have to break them in myself. It feels more like a marketing tool than a good function for the price that you're paying. They used 100% organic cotton, and let's be clear, there's nothing telling us how much organic cotton was used or anything like this. Again, feels more like a marketing strategy to pull on the eco-friendly people than have a real product future. However, the Lizzie is the first VANS VR3 skate shoe. VANS VR3 products contain 30% or more renewable, regenerative, or recycled materials. This is the first girl pro model Vans shoe since the Carabeth Burnside. So yeah, with all that said, let's dive into the first session with these Vans, and then I'll give you some of my first impressions after skating them for a little bit, and like I said, we'll do a more in-depth review later on. Let's jump into the session. All right, that was the first session with these shoes, and I had a lot of fun. Probably also because I've been moving, hadn't had much of a chance to skate. I think it was a combination of going to a skate park that I hadn't gone to in years, Poway Skate Park, that's where I was just at, and the combination of the new shoes and not being able to skate too much in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, super fun session. Now I want to talk about some of my initial thoughts, some of my first impressions from skating these shoes on that first session, and if I am hyped on continuing to skate them. Got tape on the bottom, and there was definitely some significant things that are different from the high top or a Caballero, so we'll talk about some of those differences. Honestly though, like if I'm just going to put a blanket number over the comparison, I think this is maybe like a 16% increase from a skate high. One of the things that I find pretty interesting with Vans and a lot of skate shoes, their marketing is a big push on zero break-in session. So the idea being that you can just put these shoes on, you can go skate them right away without any break-in. I will say I don't think that's true. Right when I put these shoes on, they felt a lot more different than my last resorts that I have been skating, which is a pretty similar silhouette of a shoe, to be honest, but they felt way different. It felt a lot more cushion, to be honest. This insole had a lot more padding than my last resorts. Also, they have this little QR code, and you can basically scan this with your phone and it'll pull up their little microsite about the EcoCush. This is only the second shoe that they have in the EcoCush, and the whole idea there is they're trying to push like an environmental shoe, and I think that's really dope and that's rad. I think skateboarding has to do that, especially since we're riding wood and we're kind of abusing sustainable resources, to be honest. So I think that's really cool. However, I do think Vans puts more money into marketing their sustainability and more money spent kind of like pushing what they're doing than actual money that they spent on actually doing it. So for example, what I'm trying to say is this is like a 100% recycled shoe from plastic bottles. Thousand Fell is the brand. I actually skated these. I did a whole review. I'll leave a link up above if you're interested in a fully recyclable, sustainable shoe. That's what this is. I think Vans and what a lot of shoes or a lot of companies do in America in general, like Pizza Hut did it. I think they spent like $2,000 on some sort of a campaign, an initiative, a do good initiative, more or less. But then they spent like $1 million publicizing and marketing their do good initiative. So they spent, crazy amount of money just pushing on what they actually did versus spending that money on actually doing the thing. So I feel like that's a pretty common theme with these like sort of sustainable skate shoes, is that like in all actuality, a lot of it is marketing. And if they put all the effort into actually making it a sustainable skate shoe, I think it would be a lot better. So that's just some quick thoughts on the sustainability. And as far as durability, I think I'm definitely going to need to give the shoe a lot more time to fully kind of use this DuraCap toe, kind of really just abuse it, see how the sole does and holds up over time. But it does have a lot of stiffness to it. Like look at that crunch versus like my last resorts. I've been skating these for like 3 months. Actually, they still hold a lot of, I'm going to be doing a review on these, like a 3-month skate test review update video soon. Yeah, just wanted to kind of really abuse these shoes before I did a full-blown review. I've talked about them before, but I really want to get into it. So yeah, my first impressions on the durability is they held up pretty good. The only thing that I'm concerned about as far as durability is the straps have this sort of like open area down here. Not sure if you can really see that, but it kind of feels like it's like unfinished, like unstitched. I don't know if like every shoe comes like that, but it did feel a little concerning, although it's not going to hit your board. It's not hitting any like edges. I think the stitching along here looks really good, double stitching, extra threads. So it does seem like a really durable shoe, but I can't really talk on that yet because I've only skated them this one time. I will be doing an update on that, but the comfort of them was really good. The fit was really good. I noticed my right foot was a little bit tighter than my left foot. I'm not really sure why. I'm definitely wearing the same socks, everything like that. So I don't know, it could have just been a break-in factor, but yeah, going back into the break-in, I did feel by the end of my first session that I could totally skate these shoes anywhere on any spot. So I guess that does go to say that you can break them in really quick. They're definitely a pretty like flexible shoe. They're not super stiff. However, they do have some nice padding on the bottom, and I think that's a nice complement to a kind of more high top shoe. Might be a little bit better than the Skate High or Cab, but also has less fabric up here. That's what I noticed. I felt like there was not as much stiffness, like there's more flexibility up here, while the kind of bottom of the shoe stayed stiffer, so the upper is more loose, less fabric, which I personally really did enjoy. So yeah, kind of my first impressions on these shoes. I'm really liking them. Also, the tread, I was a little concerned because it's not waffle grip. This is more teched out tread, but I actually really liked it. I was able to kind of stop myself on the transition almost quicker than I should have. I was like kind of jamming my toes because I was stopping so quick. But they did fit good. I wear size 10. This is like a pretty true to size shoe. I know everyone's shoe size is different. Vans makes a little bit of a wider shoe, where like Converse I think makes a little more of a skinny shoe, but that's just kind of like an overall silhouette. And yeah, I'm hyped to keep skating these things. So one thing I did notice on the white pair is that after I was done skating, there's a lot of sweat coming out here. So I'm a little concerned that this will get like kind of gross and yellow and sweat stainy in the future. Hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, those are sort of my first impressions. Super hyped on the shoe. I'll definitely be doing a review later down the line once I have a little more of an educated sort of feedback that I can give you guys. So hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Consider hitting that like button if you think this video was valuable for you. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Mash.